Hi guys, Mike from Back to Balance here. Today I'm going to talk to you about the difference between cardiovascular training and interval training, if there is a difference, and why interval training is often preferred to cardiovascular training, what the reasons for that are, and also what you need to do to implement it into your life. So, let's start off. Cardiovascular training is any training involving increasing the heart rate to try and increase cardiovascular fitness. So that could be swimming, it could be running, and that is involved within interval training. The difference with interval training is you are trying to increase the variability. So there'll be some periods where you're very restful and there'll be other periods where you're highly active. Now what that does in the long run is it allows your body to become used to that adaptability. And so if you're in normal life, deal with any stresses that come along very easily. Heart rate variability, I've got a few little stats here. So the heart rate variability is increased best by interval training. We know that now. And interval training, we'll go into what that is a little later on. But something that it predicts is, things as serious as mortality, heart rate failure, or heart failure rather, diabetes, neuropathy, depression, mood changes, all sorts. Anyway, I think the big point of it is the best way to organise your exercises have a variety of training patterns. Include some weight-bearing exercise, some cardiovascular exercise, periods of rest in between, and ensure that you're not going for huge amounts of time, but rather going for short periods of time with lots of different things within that short period. Actually, let's go into this. The technique. One of the ways that's best, I find, to implement interval training into your life is have it multiple times a week, so 3 times a week is the recommended. Ideally more than 1 time a week, so it's not quite a shock to the body. Then organise it in quite a short structure, so say 15 minutes of stretching, mobilising, warming up, 40 minutes of intense exercise, and then another 15-20 minutes of relaxing, stretching, calming down. That is best to prevent injury. It's important to warm up before interval training. A lot of people jump straight into it, but obviously always you want to just get the body prepared for what it's about to do. Go through the movements that you're going to do slowly before you begin the movements themselves. If you're going to do 100 press-ups, which is obviously a ridiculous amount of press-ups, you want to start by going slowly and gently, not by throwing out 100 straight away. What I'd suggest is focus just as much on the rest period as you do on the training. So in between each, let's say, set of press-ups or set of sprints, you want to make sure that you're recovering fast. Keep yourself moving, but deep, long breaths, trying to recover as much oxygen as possible, so the next time you do the set, you have as much within you to give out on the next one. It's often a good idea to go towards failure but not hit it, so don't push so hard as you can completely not do anything else, but push hard enough that you really start to increase the heart rate. Let's go over a bit more how to implement into your lifestyle. Interval training is really great because it can be very quick. As I said to you earlier on, even 20 minutes interval training can make a massive difference to your lifestyle, fat burning, and all of the other things we discussed before, including heart rate variability. What I would suggest doing is organising for 3 periods of the week, ideally when you've not done anything too straining before. Separate your time into 45 or 50-minute sessions and do a quick warm-up, get into it, really hit gently to begin with, but progress the sessions quite quickly. If you need assistance, obviously involve your chiropractor, super important. Otherwise, ensure that you're doing everything within your means. If you've tried an exercise before gently, then you can do it hectically. If you just jump straight into squats, for example, and you've not done them before, there's a chance you may injure yourself. Lastly, things to involve yourself with considering when it comes to interval training. Adequate hydration and nutrition beforehand. If you go into a really intense session before you've eaten anything, you're more likely to just pass out because you're increasing your heart rate very quickly. So ensure that you've eaten an hour or 2 beforehand, something light, something that will give energy. Rice is a great option for this, vegetable fats, animal fats, that sort of thing. I'd say try and make sure that you drink plenty in the hours beforehand, ideally the whole day beforehand, obviously ideally every day. But certainly before you get into a training session, you want to make sure that you put as much effort as you can into preparing the body for that training session. And lastly, rest sessions. So after you've completed your interval training, don't stop moving, don't go and sit down. Go home, stretch out, continue moving and walking, don't give your muscles an opportunity to inflame and seize up. A hot magnesium bath, as I say, stretches before bed, and stretches first thing in the morning are absolutely essential. If you've got any advice, questions, comments, and we'll answer as many as we can, or contact one of us at Clear. Cheers. Bye now.